Molly-Mae splits from Tommy Fury, and here's why. As a result of the couple's 4-year relationship, which captivated fans from the moment they first met on Love Island in 2019, many people have been taken aback by the news that Molly-Mae Hague and Tommy Fury have chosen to end their relationship. The trip that they took together, which was filled with love, public pledges of devotion, and the recent arrival of their daughter, Bambi, gave the impression of being a romance straight out of a fairy tale. On the other hand, it is not impossible that the pressures of personal goals and the intense scrutiny of their relationship were eventually the causes that contributed to their decision to go their own ways. A relationship under strain. In the beginning phases of their relationship, Molly-Mae and Tommy were distinguished by the intense connection they shared with one another and the dreams that they both had in common. Immediately after the conclusion of their time spent in the villa on Love Island, the couple moved in together and immediately began the process of establishing their lives together as a unit. At the same time that Tommy was pursuing a career in boxing, Molly-Mae seemed to be making tremendous headway in her profession as an entrepreneur and influencer. The two of them appeared to be enjoying a healthy relationship. On the other hand, when their individual jobs moved forward at a rapid pace, the demands that were placed on their time and attention began to increase, which led to an increase in the amount of stress that they experienced. Because of the nature of his boxing career, Tommy was obliged to spend a considerable amount of time away from his residence. This was due to the fact that he had to travel widely, train for extended periods of time, and focus completely on upcoming fights. During the time when Tommy was diligently working toward his objective of becoming a boxing champion, Molly-Mae was seeking to strike a balance between the demands of her professional responsibilities and the challenges of being a new mother. As a result of the fact that she was mostly responsible for raising her children on her own, Molly-Mae reportedly started to develop feelings of isolation. This was a consequence of the physical distance and the amount of time that she was missing from her. Differing life goals. Another significant factor that played a role in the dissolution of the group was the fact that its members held divergent viewpoints regarding the future. Molly-Mae has never been equivocal about the fact that she yearns for a life that is stable and centered on her family. She has always expressed this desire. In her address, she expressed her wish to have more children and to focus on creating a secure environment within the house. She also emphasized the importance of building a safe environment. On the other hand, Tommy is entirely devoted to his boxing career, which requires a certain level of focus and frequently leaves little room for a regular family life at times. Tommy's boxing career would not be possible without his dedication. Despite their best efforts, the pair reportedly had a tough time finding a balance between the rigorous demands of Tommy's career and Molly-Mae's desire for stability and support. This was the case despite the fact that they made every effort to do so. It became increasingly clear that they were working toward different objectives as time progressed, which led to a widening of the emotional chasm that separated them. Even though they put in a lot of effort, they were not successful in making it work. The impact of public scrutiny. Due to the fact that Molly-Mae and Tommy are in the public eye, there is no doubt that their relationship has been subjected to an additional layer of pressure. The fact that they are in the public eye is the reason for this state of affairs. The fans and the media sources have been closely watching their every move ever since the commencement of their relationship, which has been under the microscope from the very beginning. This has been the case ever from the beginning of their relationship. All of this continual focus could be quite tiring, especially when one is attempting to keep their private life a secret. It is possible that this could be a case. A variety of circumstances, including the couple's limited public appearances together and the rumor that has been spreading on social media, have contributed to the proliferation of suspicions that trouble is brewing in paradise. Specifically, the couple has made infrequent public appearances together. Over the course of the past few months, a great number of individuals have been engaged in the dissemination of these stories. It is possible that the strain that was imposed on their relationship as a result of those circumstances was caused, at least in part, by the pressure that they felt to project a pristine picture to the public while simultaneously dealing with personal difficulties behind closed doors or in private. It is beyond a doubt that the pressure of public expectations, in conjunction with the ongoing scrutiny, made the difficulties that they were already dealing with even more difficult to manage. Indeed, this was the fact. Signs of trouble. A number of subtle indications that things were not going well in the couple's relationship were picked up by followers with keen eyes. There were less references of Tommy and fewer images of the two of them together in Molly-Mae's social media posts, which also grew less centered on Tommy. In interviews, Molly-Mae frequently did not mention Tommy's assistance, but she did talk more about the difficulties she faced as a mother and the difficulties she faced in juggling her work. In addition, both Tommy's ever-increasingly hectic schedule and the extended amounts of time that the pair spent apart caused their supporters to raise their eyebrows. Additionally, it was stated by some with knowledge of the situation that the pair had been having conflicts regarding the future of their relationship, particularly with regard to their family life and the possibility of Tommy being more noticeable. In spite of the fact that they loved one another, it appeared that these problems caused a chasm between them that they were unable to overcome. The decision to separate. Eventually, Molly-Mae and Tommy came to the regrettable conclusion that they needed to go their own ways since they understood that their separate paths were no longer congruent with one another. This realization led to the separation of the two of them. This information was a terrible revelation for both of them to come to terms with. Following the realization of this information, they arrived at the conclusion that it was in their best interest to go their separate ways. Despite the fact that it is likely that this decision may have been somewhat painful for both of the parties involved, it appears that the individuals involved came to this decision with mutual respect and understanding for one another. Regardless of whether or not they are in a romantic connection with one another at this point in time, the primary concern is to find a way to ensure that Bambi is loved and cared for. This is the most important thing for them to focus on. Molly-Mae and Tommy are both completely committed to the concept of co-parenting their child and giving her an environment that is safe and encouraging. This is something that they are both really enthusiastic about. The future for Molly-Mae and Tommy. As they move forward separately, both Molly-Mae and Tommy are likely to continue thriving in their respective careers. Molly-Mae remains a powerful figure in the fashion and beauty industry, with her role at Pretty Little Thing and her successful YouTube channel. Her candid approach to sharing her life experiences, including the ups and downs, will likely resonate even more with her followers during this challenging time. Tommy, on the other hand, will continue to pursue his boxing career with aspirations of becoming a world champion. The split may allow him to fully focus on his training and upcoming fights, potentially reaching new heights in his career. While the future of their relationship remains uncertain, Molly-Mae and Tommy's love story isn't necessarily over. It's possible that with time and space, they may find a way to reconnect. However, for now, both are choosing to prioritize their individual paths, their careers, and their roles as loving parents to Bambi. Their fans, while disappointed by the news, are likely to support them as they navigate this new chapter in their lives. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channels for more interesting and informative videos.